What's up, everybody? Pizzo Campbell back with you as the Diamond League season came to an end this past week.
Well, the regular season.
The regular season came to an end. It was the last chance for athletes to punch their ticket to head to Eugene for the final. And one Andre De Grasse needed every second to do that. He came into this race clinging to that 8th and final spot. Top 8 get in. And he chose a really, really good time to break 20 seconds for the first time this season. How big is this for him to possibly end on a high note, especially going into Eugene?
What we saw De Grasse do on the weekend, one was become one of 2 Canadians in the same race to break 20 seconds. Aaron Brown was the other, which is a huge deal whenever that happens in the same race. And 2, he did sort of a different version of what we are used to seeing him do, which is run his best race at the right time. To most of us, 12 100ths of a second is literally an eye blink.
Like that, yeah.
But in the track and field world, among sprints, 100 and 200 meters, like the difference between 12 hundredths of a second, that's the difference between winning and not winning, podium and not podium, big bonus versus small bonus, and like bragging rights. If I beat you, if we indulge us now, we're world-class sprinters, and I beat you because we can only indulge in fantasy so far. It's not going to be.
I'm not racing you, Morgan. Don't try to sucker me into a race.
If I beat you by 12 hundredths of a second on the world-class stage, that's huge. I might as well have beaten you by a month.
You look at what he's done. You mentioned we talked a lot about Andre De Grasse coming out of the World Championships. What did we talk about? Lack of medals, decision not to run in a heat. We didn't talk about success. We haven't really talked about success. If he goes to Eugene and puts up a crazy number and wins the race, is that season salvaged?
In a lot of ways, yes, because chronologically he's still pretty young, but he's been an elite performer on the world scene, like a medal podium threat for 8 straight years, which is an eternity in track and field. Usually, like your peak years, it'll be about 4 of them. So what we didn't know is if it was a longer term regression or if it was just sort of a down season, because people are entitled to down seasons. Like I said, it's a tough job. And if he puts up another big number in Eugene, it just changes the nature of how you feel heading into the offseason. So, yeah, he's got a really big opportunity in front of him now to change the trajectory of his offseason and put himself in a better position for next season.
And no rest for the wicked. We got Eugene coming up. I'm going to put you on the spot. If you could only watch one event from that Diamond League final, what would it be?
Easy. The men's 200 meters while we're on the topic.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because of Andre, but because of Noah Lyles, because he ran in Zurich, said his season was done. Then he changed his mind, and he has gotten so much.
He actually said back by popular demand. So I have a feeling if he let those influencers online say, why aren't you going to Eugene?
Well, because he's gotten a lot of mileage out of the World Championship. GQ went and interviewed him, and when does GQ really ever put the spotlight on American track and field athletes? Like, not very often. And so now, what Noah Lyles has done too, and it's a pretty ingenious thing, and that whole rant might have been, if not scripted, at least planned. But what it does is, it focuses the mainstream sports media's attention on track and field. If you put the Prefontaine Classic in the fall on the weekend, you're competing against college football, you're competing against the NFL, and no sport wins those competitions. So like most other years, this meet would get completely lost in this avalanche of football. But because Noah Lyles did what he did and said what he said and performs the way he performs, they have at least a snowball's chance of getting a little bit of attention in the domestic market, which is better than they ever could have dreamed of last year.
We don't need too many reasons to watch the Diamond League final, of course, coming up this weekend in Eugene. Thanks as always. And I'm not racing you. Okay, that's the end of the video, but you're not at the finish line yet because we've got plenty more content. And if you want to see it, subscribe to the channel and just look at all the videos you can watch. Morgan and myself talking track.